Today we're going to talk about, if you have a real estate license, how you could exponentially grow your income just by working with investors. What is going on, and welcome to another episode of The Hot Take, where we talk everything in real estate, from wholesaling, flipping, rentals, and everything in between. I'm the host of BatchTV, Jesse Burrell. Let's get into it. So today we have a special guest, Laura Morby. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, yeah.
This is a topic I'm really excited about because you're a realtor that works with wholesalers, flippers. You help people find rentals. So let's talk about your experiences with working with, all different types of investors. But before we get into that, give the audience a quick little brief overview of how long you've been in real estate for, kind of what you're all about.
All right. Beautiful. So I'm Laura Morby. I am what I like to call talentless but connected. Just kidding. I'm actually married to the one and only Pace Morby, but I am also a realtor of over a decade, and I have enjoyed a wonderful career working for many investors. The first thing I ever did in real estate was I evicted homes for one of the largest home flippers. And so I've been into it, even though I do retail as well.
Right.
I've been into it in many different ways, from working for a trustee sale company to doing short sales to helping Pace run a Homevestors franchise to doing wholesale. Done it all.
You absolutely have done it all.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into that stigma of a lot of realtors. They say that it's bad to work with investors or wholesalers, and wholesalers are ruining everything, when if you're actually a smart realtor, you're going to actually want to have all facets. So let's talk about some of the benefits that you think of why it is to be a realtor and work with, creative investors.
I completely think that if you are only retail mindset, you are missing out on a ton of opportunity and some consistent business. And what I mean by that is you're not the enemy. So we can talk about how or why we would want to work together. But think about this. If you're solely retail, what are you spending your time doing as an agent? Well, what do they teach you in school? They teach you to work on your sphere, which is the people that you know, the connections that you have. Maybe you farm an area, a neighborhood, or a square mile, whatever you think. And you are constantly prospecting.
Right.
So there is no, you stop and you're never building your pipeline. You're probably wearing your realtor name tag and standing in line in a grocery store and talking to the person behind you about real estate.
Right.
So that's exhausting. They also teach us to always ask for a referral. So when I sell a house to a couple, do you know anybody else who wants to buy or sell a house? It's awkward, but we all do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Ideally, you would like that person that you sold a house to, that within the next 3 or 5 years, when they're ready to sell and buy something else, that they think about you.
Right.
The number one thing people forget about their realtor is their name.
That's funny.
It's their name. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So if they don't even remember your name, how are they going to find your phone number to call you when they're ready?
Yep.
So then what are you doing? You're spending money on the back end where you're anniversary marketing to them.
Yep.
You're doing things like that. That's a whole other job to follow up with people to get repeat business.
Correct.
So how many deals have you and I done together?
So that's what I wanted to get into. Is I have my license too. So
Right.
I actually started off, my first 10 real estate deals were retail.
Mm-hmm.
But I started getting repeat business from my now former partner, Danielle Kroll, because she was flipping right when I got into it.
Right.
So I was just going and looking for stuff, but that's repeat business. One, I'm finding her the house.
Right.
So I'm her buyer's agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an agreement that if I'm bringing her, good deals to flip, I'm going to get 2 transactions out of every deal I do with her. If you want to learn more about fix and flipping, check this video out right here.
Right.
And she's always looking for deals. She's always looking for more. When you're working with someone retail, you're hoping once every 3 to 5 years, these people move, or maybe they want to use you again, and you have to make sure that you're marketing to them and doing things and keeping in touch, which is great because I do like the retail side too.
Of course.
I don't do it. I refer all my business to you, but it was something I did like doing, and it's fun getting someone into their first house or their dream home or something like that.
I love first-time home buyers. It makes you feel good.
They're difficult too, though.
I know they are. That's another thing that we should definitely touch on.
Yeah.
When I work with you, it's easy. You and I speak the same language. It's not emotional. All we want to do is get the deal done.
Right.
And we want to make you as much money as possible.
Right.
And when you're working with someone retail, you and I both know that you're almost turned into their therapist. So there's a lot of emotions that go into that. I've had someone want to kill a deal because someone wouldn't buy them a $500 home warranty. And it's like, do you want the house or not?
Yeah.
It's not like that for us. So guess what? Working with you is actually, I grow less gray hairs.
we have hair dye for that. You know, I could get that for you.
I know. True.
So let's talk about some of the benefits. So obviously it's like repeat business. It's more bottom line numbers. What's like another benefit?
As a real estate agent, this helps build my business. I could do 2 deals a month with you.
Right.
This whole year. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you are a real estate agent and you're not working with investors, what are you doing? This is like, doesn't make any sense to me. This is the easiest way to make sure that you're consistently closing deals. When you think about it and you get out of real estate school, you don't make anything hourly. You're pure sales, 1099, which means that you got to pay taxes. So think about that. How much money do you need to make to live each month?
Yep.
Okay, great. How many houses do you need to sell to make that? Okay, that's how many houses you need to sell each month. Okay, don't forget that you're paying for all your marketing, you're paying for your gas, you're paying for your phone, you're paying for all the MLS dues, you're paying for your association, local, state, national. Oh my gosh, you can go up from there. And then taxes. So if you can guarantee yourself to have some consistent deal flow and I'm making consistent sales, there's nothing better. Also, if you want to make sure that you are maximizing this to the most, I get listings from you when you flip houses. What's the best way to get buyers?
Open houses.
Open houses. Go hold your listing open.
Right. No, I agree 100%. And I also think that there's obviously, you could work the sphere of the real estate community. So all the meetups you have now that everything's open back up, all you have to do, I could promise you, if you're a good agent and you do a good job, all investor or flipper wants is to make sure that they have to do the least amount possible and you not to bug them and get them the most money. So
100%.
you just have such a big skill set on those side of things because I mean, I don't even know how many houses you've worked with investors on, and you and your husband do. God knows how many flips a month too.
Too many. I'm sweaty just thinking about it. Just kidding. No, we're always down for more. But if we were to talk to a realtor who is thinking about dipping their toes into this, what you just said, so you said, make your life easier.
Right.
So be a good negotiator.
Yep.
So that's the thing that if you're a real estate agent right now that you need to think about. And what am I able to do? Like, I'll go do stuff for you that I wouldn't have to do for a real retail client.
You understand that we're busy and you do everything you can to take the little things off our plate to make sure that, we want to use someone, because anyone, and there's a lot of realtors that want to work with investors too, because of the repeat business. And those are one of the ways that you stand out from other people. You just do a little bit more than anybody else would. For sure.
And I love doing that, to be honest. So I love it. And two, let's also not think about, I think that I helped someone that before I helped you list one of your flips. And then you've referred me to another investor since, too, in fact.
My father.
Yeah. So he trusts me with his dad. Like, that's like the hugest compliment. I love your dad, by the way.
Let's give like one more little nugget on, if someone wanted to start working with investors, someone just wants to start.
100%.
What would you tell them to go do?
So as you know, like most things in this business are connections. So I'm not going to even downplay the fact that you and I even know each other is based on a connection, right? But if you don't have that and you're just getting started, I would say 100%, no matter where you are, Phoenix or otherwise, go join your local RIA and go there and get to know people, get to know other wholesalers. You don't just have to find a deal from MLS, get creative. There's always other wholesalers that you could daisy chain onto one of their deals. If it's a good deal and you can give it to a home flipper, you don't care if I made money on the back end.
Nope.
You're just happy to have it. So if you can find deals, get really good at comping properties.
I was literally just going to say that.
Because like if I bring you a deal, if I bring you 5, you're going to be like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about.
Or if you bring me a deal and sell it to me, let's say you don't even make any money. You're just like, here's a flip. Here
100%.
you go. And you don't know your numbers and I lose money, I'm never working with you again.
I know. And you're not going to look at any other deal I bring you.
No.
So that's the other thing too, that I think that I need to explain to realtors is you can get paid in other ways. So say you find a deal and it's not on MLS, so you're not making a commission. Number one, you could just give it straight to you, like we had talked about, and you can make money once you list it,
correct.
Right?
You create a listing agreement right then and there.
Right. Like, hey, when you're done with this, I'm going to list it. Or you can build in whatever commission you want, which is crazy. I think people don't know that. But the realtors who are involved with investors, they get paid from the title company at acquisition all the time. So you can make $1,000. And I've even seen a realtor make like $30,000, which is crazy. I'm not saying you do that, but you're then eating into your investor's profit margin, which at this point, what you want to do is you want to develop a relationship.
Correct.
So,
there's finding a balance. And as an investor, if you brought me a deal and tacked on, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, it doesn't matter if you got it super deep. And because sometimes you negotiate deals direct to seller too.
right.
So, I mean, you do all of it. You literally, you have your license, but you mostly, I would say, do license stuff. But you've got off-market deals on your own, like not
100%.
Not from your husband. Like people come to you too and do things. So there's just so many ways to skin a cat if you're in real estate and have your license and you're traditionally in that realtor box.
Yeah, 100%. Don't put your blinders on, because even if, say, for instance, I'm going and doing a listing appointment, I think that if you're a realtor and you're pretending like wholesalers and cash buyers don't exist, you're doing yourself a major disservice.
I agree.
So one of the most successful things that I've seen realtors be able to do is when you go to a listing appointment, if you're telling them what they can sell it for, you're listening to why they're moving, you're listening to any stress points that they may have, if they're moving out of state, if they're trying to buy something else. There's so many things that are going on that if they have pain, which is the major indicator that maybe they would consider a cash offer. And I'm talking pain, I mean, they're behind on their HOA $12,000. They're behind on their mortgage. They're about to go into foreclosure. They need to leave.
Yeah, they're going to move or something happen, or they inherited a property and they don't want to deal
100%.
with it. 100%.
So in that case, if you're a real estate agent, why isn't this in your tool belt? Why isn't someone like you a resource for me to say, hey, you know what? Maybe listing your house isn't the right thing to do. We're talking letting people in and out, or maybe your house isn't in good enough condition to sell. Why wouldn't I have someone like you on my team that I can pull out and say, hey, I've got a guy.
Yep. I have some cash buyers. What's the net number you need?
100%.
I'll make sure that I work with them all the time. Here's all the houses they bought and sold.
Yep.
There you go. And then you could take something if you want there, or you could take something on the back end.
For sure. And it depends on the deal, you know? So then you comp it and you see if it's a good enough deal for you. If you've got, $100,000 and the thing needs $20,000, then maybe I say, hey, do you care if I make $2,500? Sell it to you. I'm sure you would say yes, all day, every day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Easy.
So yeah, I can agree more. So before we go, this doesn't have to be related to our topic.
Yeah.
How does someone get a hold of you?
Sure.
And also, what's one last nugget that you just give in general for entrepreneurship?
Oh my gosh, for entrepreneurship, never give up. I think that's one thing that I have. I mean, call me stubborn. I don't know. Determined. There is always ups and downs. You know that just as well as I know that. We are currently having a great time making money, but it's not always like that. So don't ever give up. Don't ever feel like you failed. It's just a learning lesson. Pace always says it's just money. We can go make more. And I think that's a really good attitude to have, especially if you're going through something. So just don't give up.
Yeah. And then how do we get a hold of Laura for socials?
How do we get a hold of me? So my Instagram is Laura Morby, no spaces. I'm a little boring on there. I don't know if you want to follow me, but
yeah, if you guys need to list a house, you need to buy a house, you need someone to help find you deals, is literally the only person I work with, and I am very particular. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
I thought it was just that we like to hang out and eat snacks.
We do.
And hang out at the pool.
Well, I'm not allowed to snack very much anymore.
I know. That's actually super bumming me out. But you know what? We still have a good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys so much for joining another episode of The Hot Take. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, let's get it. Check out these other videos right here. Follow me on social media.